Let's say you've had a couple of meetings with a certain person inside your customer. They've told you that they're quite interested in looking at the solution that you're offering to them. They like your products, they like your services, but can they actually buy it? They might say, I really want to go ahead with this. You get out your order pad and say, great, let's get a contract ready. And they say, well, not so soon. I don't actually have the money. I've now got to go and get the money from somebody else. This slips up so many salespeople every year. So it pays to ask some simple questions. Practice asking very simply, who owns the budget for this? Whose budget will be used to fund this? In the past, where you've been buying solutions similar to this, who's been paying for it? Because if they already have a supplier and you're looking to displace that competitor and get your own products and services in there, that budget already has to have a cost line that's approved and well understood inside your customer's business. So whose department pays for that? It's a simple question to ask. If you're offering quite a novel solution to the organization, they haven't bought anything like it before, then it's even more important to understand which department will own the expenditure, because at the start of the year, they probably already earmarked a lot of the budget that's allocated to their department for other projects, other expenditures that were already in mind. Now you're coming along offering something that they didn't plan. Now, that's not a showstopper, because sometimes you can be so timely and opportune that they drop everything else because the time is now. You're offering them something that they have to invest in. But we still need to understand, where is the funding going to come from? Firstly, that's practical for you to know as to whether or not they can even afford it. Secondly, it's practical for you to know so that you can identify which stakeholders you now start talking to. If the person you've had an introductory discussion with, or that your existing relationship is with, isn't the person that has to sign off on this, they're not the one that will spend the money, then you must get access to the people whose budget is going to be used. Chances are they're the people that make the final decision. After all, they're weighing up all the other ways that their capital can be used. So they will need to know who you are. They will need to know what your company does in the marketplace, what your track record is like. Is this going to be money well spent? So rather than being satisfied with talking to whoever you've been talking to before, if they're not the person that owns that budget, if they're not the final decision maker, you absolutely have to navigate your way to meet with them. That can be done by as simply as asking for an introduction. But if the person that you're talking to is somewhat territorial, you might need to find other ways to reach those decision makers. Perhaps you could talk to your sales manager or other executives in your business to make an executive level call to somebody above the head of the person you ultimately want to get to. Have a discussion about what you're talking to the company about, and have their executives refer you down to talk to the final decision maker. That's a sideways move that helps you get above the head of the person that you're currently talking to without alienating you from them by being seen as someone who's gone over their head. You're doing it as a result of your executive and their executive talking. So that's an excellent way of engaging your own company's leadership to help open up sales and open up relationships you might politically not be able to open up for yourself. But however you do it, if the person you're selling to today doesn't have the budget, doesn't control it, or won't make the final decision, you must widen your call pattern and meet with other people. It's fundamental to knowing, is there really going to be a sale, and are the people who own the budget really going to vote in your favour? If they don't know who you are and you don't know who they are, that's not really a question that you can answer.